There are times where I don't set myself up for a good day. There are times where I'll wake up and the first thing I'll do is I'll look at my phone or I'll look at YouTube on my phone. I'll end up laying in bed for, however long that may be before I even get a sip of water or before I even get up to brush my teeth or use the restroom or anything like that. And then, I try and go on with the rest of my day with everything being delayed by like an hour or 2 hours or 30 minutes or 45 minutes, whatever. And I immediately just have like no type of mental clarity or any type of mental clearness because I just spent, the first, waking minutes of my day or waking hours of my day just, sitting around and doing nothing, right? I think movement is medicine. After you were laying down resting for maybe 6 to 8 hours, the first thing you should be doing is getting up and moving to some capacity, whether that be through stretching, whether that be through maybe working out in the morning, like how I prefer, or just getting up, walking around. Just the fact that you are getting up out of bed and maybe just going to go brush your teeth, or maybe just going to go take a piss, or maybe just going to go, I don't know, eat breakfast or whatever, right? And there are some days where I might not set myself up to do those things because I would have rather gotten up and scrolled on my phone. Now I don't do this often anymore, especially as often as I did when I was like in middle school, when I was in high school, even comparatively to just a year ago, right? So for the past, I'm not sure how long, but I feel like for close to a year now, I've been having my phone away from me when I wake up, so my phone isn't right next to my bed. So then when my alarm wakes up or when I wake up, the first thing I do is I just look on my phone and I start doom scrolling, right? I start going on YouTube or I start going on Instagram or whatever the case may be. And then that's just like mental energy wasted, right? We have a finite amount of mental energy in any given day, dealing with any given situation, and you're immediately putting all of that energy to waste in the morning, right? Think of like having some type of battery, and that battery is going to be more and more drained depending on the activities you do throughout the day. And especially if you have some hard, difficult activities to do, then just wasting your time already in the morning, just by consuming other thoughts, other ideas, instead of kind of getting yours together as you wake up, then I feel like you're not really setting yourself up for an ideal day, for a good day preferably. And so another thing with me having my phone not close to my bed, I have my phone on my desk. I have my phone charging overnight on my desk as I sleep. So then when the alarm goes off, I wake up, I have to get up and I have to like walk to my desk and to turn the alarm off. And so, and then also just like, having like the radiation and Wi-Fi signals and whatnot next to your head like that, that's not really good. Um, but yeah, I really do prefer having the phone away. Another thing is like if you have your phone like right next to you as you wake up, just imagine going to sleep, right? A lot of people will stay up till like 2, 3 a.m. looking at TikTok, laughing at random Instagram posts, and then they'll just put down their phone. They'll turn off their phone and then they'll just put it down, right? Or maybe some people, they need to have like music playing or something playing in the background, and they just have their phone constantly burning Wi-Fi and energy, just throughout the night, throughout the day almost, right? Because there are some people who even listen through music like the entirety of the day. And I don't believe that's because, oh, they just love music. Music is their life. Music is their soul. No, I think that's because you are, in a way, addicted to noise and you're not capable of just handling your own, I'd say, this inner voice and inner thoughts. And you don't want to have any time alone with your own actual ideas and concepts. So I feel like it's best to just kind of get the phone far from you at some points. But that's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I really want to make is just to kind of Give yourself the opportunity, the choice, the chance to have a good day. And I don't think that waking up and immediately being on your phone is a good idea. Even if, like, I don't know, let's say you wake up and then you get messages, right? Because you should hold those things off till later. All right, so I'm recording the second half of the audio later in the day because I just got home from my aunt's house and I ate a bunch of food. I'm stuffed. It's Christmas at the time of me recording this, but whatever. So what I was gonna say was with the messages, you know, probably hold them off until after doing your like morning routine or ritual or whatever, because most of the time they're messages that don't need your immediate response. Another thing to help with starting off a better day is what you do the night before. Example, excuse me, eating a bunch of food, eating so much of your auntie's food, eating so much food, almost eating the entire day can actually be a way to possibly mess up your morning, after waking up, because you're just still filled with all the food, and you're gonna be probably slow and sluggish, especially if you didn't allow the food to properly digest between each meals. Because I ate breakfast there, I ate lunch, dinner, and I was snacking in between the entire time. So I'm pretty stuffed. I feel pretty bloated, and who knows how that can affect me tomorrow. Who knows how that can even affect my sleep, right? Right, because there are so many things that we do throughout the day that we don't know that affect our sleep. There's things like taking caffeine at certain times in the day, or taking caffeine like right after we wake up can mess our sleep schedule. There's like the amount of blue light. There's the amount of physical activity we get. There is what foods we eat, whether that be junk foods, sugary foods, clean, healthy foods, just things like that, and like how our mood is, especially before we go to bed. Example would be, let's say, the times where I was just really, really, really grinding on some type of homework assignment or whatever the case may be for school, specifically college. I would and when it would be time to go to bed, when I would finish these things, it'd be so weird for me to just kind of shut off, because what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to kind of slowly kind of get into rest mode. But when you're on work mode, immediately to rest mode, the two like just feelings there, they kind of, I don't know, cross with each other so weird. So it just feels so weird to like lay in the bed after having spent like, 10 plus hours on some type of assignment. And, I'm going to bed at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and now I have to try and sleep. So if you have the ability to do so, and when you can, do the right things as much as possible. Do the things where you're properly shutting yourself off at the end of the day. At the end of the day, do the right things where you make sure you don't drink water at a specific time, past a specific time, depending on when you sleep, because you don't want to get up and go piss in the middle of the night multiple times, like how I do a lot. Also, make sure you exercise and expend the energy properly. Things, and the foods you eat, right? You don't want to eat something like, you don't want to eat like a bunch of high calories before you go to sleep, or you don't want to eat a bunch of like high sugary foods before you go to sleep. You probably don't want to eat high sugary foods whatsoever. It doesn't even matter. Even exercise, right? You probably don't want to exercise like right before bed unless you really have to, unless like that's the only way you can fit in your schedule, then you can. But when it comes to like your adrenaline and whatnot, those levels are very elevated whilst working out and after working out. So you're gonna have a lot more energy after you just exercised. So if you're doing that right before you go to bed, there can be issues. But again, if that's the only way, the only time you can work out, then go ahead, do that, because getting physical activity over doing nothing is better than nothing. So yeah, but just try and see what things that you do in your life that lead you to have those bad days, those, or just not so good days. It doesn't have to be bad days, but just those like slow days, right? Because at the end of the day, most of the things that happen to us, we have to take accountability for, because most of the things that happen to us, we allow to happen to us, whether we realize it or not, because there are so many stressors, so many distractions in our life that we allow. Just, the use of our phone, right? Because we can say so many things. Well, I need my phone for this. I need my phone for that. I need this app for this. I need this app for that. Things like that. But of the time, 9 times out of 10, when we're using our phone, or when we're using any type of electronic device, or when we're using some type of social media, we're not getting any inherent value from it, because most of the time we spend on there is just unproductive, right? Very unproductive. You're not exactly learning anything. Maybe you'll find like an interesting TikTok video on TikTok as you're scrolling. But how long did it take you to get to that video, right? It probably took you like 15 minutes or 50 minutes of scrolling. You could have watched a YouTube video, and you could have heard some type of interesting fact or something that you can apply to your life. But that's after spending, what the time of, like, 5 different videos on the website already, right? Because these things are designed to have our attention. But you don't want to put the responsibility just on those electronic devices. You want to put the responsibility on yourself, because if you can't take accountability for yourself, then you're not able to have the proper responsibility just within your life in general. At least that's how I believe it, right? So, and it doesn't even have to be our devices again. It could be anything, right? It could be the foods we eat. It could be the lifestyle that we live. It could even be the people that we hang around with. The people you hang around with, if they just give you a lot of stress, a lot of emotional, mental turmoil, then you don't see any reason to have them in your lives, unless they're like your mother or your father or someone that you have to live with, right, for the time being. Then, thug it out, I guess. Just deal with it, or try and, maybe confront them about whatever issues you might be having with them. Just whatever the case may be. Even if it's like a work thing too. If you have to work with this person, and you can't talk to your boss about it, or maybe the problem is your boss, or you can't find a better job, then I guess you deal with it, or again, you confront the person saying, hey, man, you're on some bullshit, whatever the case may be. So, yeah, so moral of the story, find what it is that is leading you to have the bad day, right? Find those distractions, find those addictive behaviors, find those types of, just things in our life that causes stress to where it kind of ruins the rest of our day, right? Another thing, your emotions, how you regulate your emotions, right? If you're someone who's quick to temper, that's something that needs to be changed, right? You need to, I don't have advice for that, because I personally don't think I'm quick to temper, but there are some people who are just kind of quick to just throw their hands up at a situation and give up, or people who just get angry really fast, or people who get really sad and upset, people who don't have their emotions under control, especially dudes. For guys, I believe having your emotions under control, and knowing your emotions and feeling your emotions, but not allowing your emotions to take advantage of you, is a very strong trait to have, that will kind of elevate your own presence. So just things like that, right? Like, I don't know, road rage, getting mad at a sibling randomly, allowing, I don't know, the video game, the game to piss you off so much. Like, bro, there's people who will crush their controller and in their TV because they got mad at a game. Now their whole day is ruined. So if you're one of those people, stop that, okay? You're messing yourself up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, whatever the case may be. If there's anything you guys want me to talk about, leave it in the comments. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.